All right, we are live, and I want to introduce the ambassador of the 3DS, Francisco. How we doing?
Ooh, thank you. I'm doing pretty good. A little bit hungry. Just ordered some Wingstop, so I think we got about like 40, 50 minutes.
Oh, you ordered Wingstop.
Yep, I just ordered it right now.
Oh, I thought you just had some. I thought you were giving me
Nah,
45
dude.
minutes to before it hits your intestines and you got to take a dump.
Oh, nah, dude. No, I'm gonna wait for that day to come by, but it's like not till the morning.
Uh, yeah. So 4 years ago, we did a video talking about like Pokemon and kind of like the future of gaming, and now we're in 2020. We're all stuck at home, being
Yeah.
being safe and stuff. So I'm sure I'm not the only one that decided to kind of go back to their original hardware, like Game Boy Color, and just start playing like your old games again. And Pokemon is one of those games that is just it never really goes away. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it definitely helps to considering how this year has been going by, having a little nostalgia to kind of help us, have that positive attitude towards, looking in the future is, something that we kind of all been, I think we've all been kind of looking at. I've been also playing a lot of Pokemon because of that too. I've just been kind of hitting
yeah,
all of the old school games and, all that kind of stuff. Game Boy Advance games, going back Mario and Luigi.
yeah. Since we have a short winter to talk about, well, there's a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, but
Yeah, man.
tell
Here the go ahead.
tell me more about the ambassador program. I didn't even know that was a thing. So when did the 3DS come out?
So I actually have to look that up. I'm not necessarily someone that has like the whole knowledge in the back space
Uh
of my
huh.
head with the Nintendo. But I believe it was 2014. I think it came out. I mean, we could double check that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look it up. Did the 3DS? So what? Like, did you like enroll in?
No, so it was actually, well, let's see. The Nintendo 3DS was introduced in February 26, 2011.
Wow,
Yeah. So it's been, yeah,
wow, it's
9
almost 10
years.
years.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like it was like not that old though? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Cause they
Well, I
did,
mean,
yeah, they did 3DS and then the new 3DS. I guess that's where I get confused.
yeah, they have a real, knack of naming their systems, their sequels and all that kind of stuff. No, yeah, they've had like multiple variations of the system before. So like they had
Mm,
the regular 3DS, and then they had the new and improved new 3DS. They had something called the 2DS, was like, it looked like a slice of toast
yeah,
almost.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then they re-released the 2DS as a clamshell design, just like the 3DS. They just removed the actual 3D, and I actually have
Oh,
one. I think I have my 3DS actually just charging up here. Let me see if I could get it.
yeah. I actually picked up a new 2DS just recently because Walmart started hashing the prices on them, so you can get this for $100. I mean, if you can find one. So I'm completely new to this whole like DS thing, and it's pretty cool. So what'd you got there? You got your Pokemon one?
Yeah, right here's the Pokeball Edition 2DS.
Dang, wow! And it's got like a game, like what is that, like a controller on
Oh,
it?
so no, so it's like a little grip controller to
Wow.
for because I have bigger hands, and so I like to, have a bigger grip on my stuff.
Uh
Oh,
huh.
I'm actually gonna go take it off. What's cool about this 3D or this 2DS right here is that it actually has a little button in the middle of the system. It
Oh,
does absolutely nothing, but I don't know if you could hear it through my mic. You just press the button and that's it.
wow! I would be doing that all day.
Dude, I think I've worn it out because I'm always doing it all the time.
Like it's just one of those like fidget things that you have. You just want to press the button. Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, this is how the system looks without the grip. Yeah, it's a pretty tiny system, which is, preferably for me because I could just put it in my pocket. It's
Yeah.
smaller than the Switch, so I could just carry it anywhere I want with, protected with the screen's not exposed like the Switch. So it's fun to bring this out.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's kind of crazy because I don't know with like this new price point of $100, if maybe this is like the end of the 2DS, 3DS era. You know, kind of like the Wii U. It's like still exists, but it's kind of being discontinued and kind of pushed to the side.
Yeah, I've noticed that with the sorry, cracking my voice. I've noticed that with the 2DS, 3DS, and all that kind of stuff. I think, when the Switch initially launched, that was kind of I think the telling signs that the 3DS was going to kind of go away.
Mm-hmm.
It being a successor as a portable console that you could take anywhere you want, also doubling down as a home console. So,
Yeah.
it was kind of inevitable in a way to see that system go, but they did support it, thoroughly still. I mean, first party titles kind of stopped coming up. I think the last one was a Mario and Luigi title,
Oh, okay.
I think. But as far as first party support, we kind of stopped seeing a whole lot of that, and it was mostly third party gamers or third party publishers, putting their games onto the 2DS and stuff. A lot of eWare stuff or eShop stuff. So I got a bunch of that stuff too. I mean, I don't really personally play those ones, but at this point, a lot of people just kind of got the system because it has a huge library of games,
Mm-hmm.
backwards compatible with the original DS game, including everything that's on the 3DS already. You know,
Wow.
it's yeah, I mean, there's so many things. I mean, you could spend so much time on a little system like that.
Yeah, I think the reason why I picked one up is number one, it's $100. Number two, I just realized that you can literally play like every generation of Pokemon on this thing, except for like Sword
Oh
and Shield,
yeah,
because you can buy the virtual copies of Red, Blue, Yellow, Crystal. So
yeah,
that takes care of like the first two gens. Now the third gen is kind of like awkward because you can't really play Game Boy Advance games on there unless you hack it, and then you can. But then there's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so
yeah.
you can play like the remakes of Gen 3. And then you got like the DS, so then you literally can play every Pokemon game on that thing, and that's kind of why I picked one up.
Yeah, for real. And I mean, if you hack it with, if you're patient enough to learn how to do all that kind of stuff and, put a lot of the Pokemon games, you could spend so much time on that. I already am, a person that re-downloaded a yellow version. I bought that on the eShop. Then I also got myself a silver version. And so I've been
Oh,
playing
cool.
those ones all the way through. And it's funny because, you could now technically take Pokemon from these old games and transfer them all the way to Sword and Shield, if you think about it,
Wow. So
because now that it
how
is
would you be able to do that? Like,
so,
what's the process? Like, how far back you can go all the way to the first gen or no?
you can go all the way back to the first gen technically if you use the games that came out on the eShop. So if you use the versions that are on the 3DS,
Uh
then
huh.
you can bring those Pokemon over to the newest one.
Wow. So if you have Pokemon that you're grinding and hunting, like let's say on like Pokemon Crystal, and
Yeah.
how would you trade that to what would be the next game? It would be like I don't know why
Well,
it's zooming in on my freaking.
I
uh,
was like, is there something we should focus on then,
Bro,
or?
what is going on? My camera's got a mind of its own, man.
Damn, your guess is as good as mine. Honestly, I forgot the one of the applications you actually get for the 3DS.
It's a
We're all
bank?
familiar with, yeah, Pokemon Bank. So we're
Okay.
all familiar with Pokemon Home, and
Home.
that's what kind of replaced Pokemon Bank.
Mm.
Now, I hadn't used it in such a long time that I actually paid a fee. I think it was like $3, 2.99 for like a whole year, and you get
Oh,
a
okay.
transfer Pokemon from older games into the bank, and then from the bank you move them over to home. I think that's how
Wow.
it goes, right? Yeah. It's very convoluted, and I've only done it like a couple of times, and that was only because I really wanted my old Pokemon back to the new
It
games.
says
But
you can use your existing Pokemon bank to transfer Pokemon from gold, silver, red, blue, yellow to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Okay.
yeah,
Dang, that's pretty crazy, man. If like you happen to, I don't know, like have like an old copy that you just been grinding for a while, you can just, hey, screw it, I want to take this Sword and Shield, and you can do that now.
yeah, for real. And that's what's kind of funny. But back in the day, that wasn't really possible because before the introduction to like the home and the bank and everything, there was no real way to actually grab these old
Yeah.
Pokemon to the new ones. Old fashions. Just trading from version to version to version.
Yeah, you kind of
I
just had to start over.
Yeah, and that's how it kind of like felt when people got into the new gens, Ruby and Sapphire. You remember when those came out? Those are like one of the very first Game Boy Advance Pokemon games that came
Hmm.
out, and you could not transfer anything from red, blue, green. So again, it goes with my voice. Red, blue, green, yellow, silver, gold, crystal. All those Pokemon, all those versions. You cannot transfer any of those Pokemon into the new one. So you'd had to start over, like from
Mm.
Gen 3 from scratch. And only until they re-released Fire Red and Leaf Green, the remakes of the original
Hmm.
Red and Blue, that's when you were able to start, porting those Pokemon. Like you got all the original ones again, and then you were able to like, experience the old versions again, but being able to transfer back and forth to the new ones, and that's how you got.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've told you like I just started playing like Gold for the first time, and it's like really fun to kind of go back in time and appreciate how far we've come because I do have a copy of Shield. And I'm like these graphics are crazy, like the everything is just so 2020. I love it. But I feel like it's like an awkward situation for like the Switch because you can't really play anything on there. You know what I mean? Like all the stuff that the Wii U and the 2DS, all the libraries that they had, they haven't really been ported over to the Switch. Um,
Nah,
and they came out with the Switch Lite, which we assume is going to replace the 2DS and the 3DS or whatever. But they haven't done any like virtual consoles or anything like that. So it's like, so Nintendo, what are you gonna do with this?
Nintendo's one of those companies that kind of like, has you scratching your head every single time with almost any decision that they make. I mean, at the end of the day, you like kind of accept that Nintendo kind of is a little quirky, so they're going to make some weird decisions. Like, for example, only releasing the new Mario 3D collection for the Switch, Mario 64, Sunshine, and all that for a limited time, like they're only selling a physical copy
Yeah,
until like March 31st, 2021 or something. And then everyone's like kind of upset about that. But it's like, Nintendo being Nintendo, it's kind of weird about, them adding a virtual console. Like everyone's kind of like asking where that is, but no one's really getting any answers.
yeah,
And third party publishers have actually, gone out their way to port their old games onto the Switch. For example, you can play the Star Wars Rebellion. You could play the Star Wars like the racing pod racer ones, like from back in the I think it was PS2 days or whatever.
oh
Yeah, I think it was.
wow,
Yeah, and so like there are some old school games like you can play old school Doom 64 on there too. So there are some like old games going on the Switch and stuff. It's just Nintendo themselves aren't really doing much. I mean, they have the online service. I don't know if you're familiar
yeah.
with the Super NES game library or whatever
Yeah,
for
yeah. Like
NES.
if you have a membership, you have access to like Nintendo, like the original Nintendo NES games, Super Nintendo. What
Yeah,
have they done any 64 games or GameCube games? No, huh?
no, not
Hmm.
as of right now. No. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird because like the 2DS, man, it's such an underrated like handheld because especially when you can hack it, you can basically play every game. And then same thing with the Wii U. I've actually rekindled my relationship with the Wii U ever since I got the Switch. It kind of just put it in the corner and it's just like I'm done with it. But I saw a YouTube video and I realized like how powerful that system still is and how you can it has like the most games that you can play GameCube games on that thing. You can play 64 games on that thing, and it's just like I'm just waiting for Nintendo to move all that stuff up to the Switch because if you're killing off this line, then we still want to play these games. So just hurry up and do it.
yeah, and that's kind of like the biggest thing with the gaming community as a whole. Like we always, we knew that we always wanted to hold on to some really good games that from the past. We want to play these in a a better technology. We
Yeah,
want to just play them on a bigger, nicer TV with the better graphics, a reliable way to play with no interruptions. Some of these old systems don't really work as great as they used to. So when you try to plug in one of those old games, it don't work out. You have to take out the cartridge, blow the
yeah,
cartridge, put it back in, that kind of old stuff. It gets kind of repetitive and old, and over time, you can damage your system like that. So it's only inevitable that these games eventually won't start working anymore. And so
Yeah.
that's what I kind of also agree with. Like I kind of wish Nintendo pour like more effort into like putting their legacy support onto the console itself.
Yeah, because I kind of went down this rabbit hole. Like, it started with just wanting to buy like a Nintendo SP, and then I saw that they have all these mods you can do. Like, you can get a better screen, you can get a better speaker, and it's just like, wow. I went down that rabbit hole, and then I saw that like the GameCube community is still like alive. Like, dude, people are
Oh,
so
dude.
obsessed with GameCube and Melee, and they have all these mods
Nice.
that you can like put the HDMI converter in there, and like, dude, you end up spending more money modding out a GameCube and buying these games than playing on Switch.
Yeah, for real. And it's like, I mean, we got one of our very first GameCube games like on the Switch pretty soon, which is the Mario Sunshine,
Yeah.
which is going to be kind of interesting to see how that's going to play eventually. But like, I want to start seeing more stuff like that on the Switch
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because yeah, this thing that finally they announced like the 3D All Stars, like you're getting Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and then Mario Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are games that people have been like asking about and like wanting to see on the Switch. And you've seen like people go out of their way to like make these like on the side and like emulate them. And I think like a copy of Mario 64 was like in playing in 4K and stuff, and then Nintendo shut it down.
Yeah. Yeah, they are very strict when it comes to like any like other IPs being used online. They are very protective,
Dang.
man.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see if this is like the beginning, of like more and more stuff finally coming to the Switch. I feel like this like Christmas holiday, like they really don't have anything lined up, man. I think they're kind of just letting Sony and Sony and Xbox kind of steal the show.
Yeah, which, by the way, why haven't we heard anything about the pricing and like the release date of the PS5?
I know. We didn't get pricing on either console.
No, no, it's like they're
Yeah.
both like holding their dicks or something, dude. And they're just like
They're
holding
playing
out this.
chicken.
Yeah, bro. It's like, dude, just give us the price. It's like they don't tell you the price, not even
Mhm.
when you purchase a thing. You have to wait for your bank account to come in, and like
Hey, here's
that's
the
how far it's
pre-order.
gonna go.
Here's the pre-order link. Just put your bank account. Don't worry about it. You may get it. You may not. Who knows at this point? But you trust us, right? I think it's interesting because can we agree that like Sony won that last generation as far as like at least the original PlayStation 4 and the original Xbox One. I feel like they won that
Yeah.
battle because it was number one cheaper, and number two is more about emphasis on gaming. Like I remember when the Xbox One came out, you had to have the Kinect, and they were kind of selling you as like the main thing that you would use in your home for like watching TV. Like it was not even about games at that point.
No, and it was really like online oriented, which kind of like, steered people the wrong way
Mm,
because, not everybody has a great internet connection.
yeah,
So how reliable is it, for you to keep your system online at all times?
yeah,
And that did not sit well with them at all. Up until Phil Spencer, I think, took over, and then he started, rebranding the Xbox as a gaming console thing.
yeah.
Then that's when people were like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance. So I
Yeah,
think Xbox lost definitely for this last generation. I mean, I guess we're talking about like console wars, I guess,
yeah.
but I mean, I
Well,
guess like
yeah.
the
I think like what happened though was like midway through that generation, they did the revamps like the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and definitely
speaking of
Xbox.
which, I got the shout out for my PS4 Pro. I got the Spider-Man one,
The red
Spider-Man edition.
one?
Dude. Yep.
Oh, damn. That thing's very rare, very hard to get.
Yeah, I'm actually really proud of it. I used to have a
Man.
Batman edition PlayStation, but like I gave that to my brother in trade for the Spider-Man one because he
Oh.
bought it at his work at Best Buy.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so they did that mid thing upgrade, and I think like the Xbox One X won that one because it was more powerful and it could play 4K Blu-rays and stuff. And then you started to, because now what we're starting to see is like people want to like stream or have like ways of like playing games that they don't necessarily own, and Game Pass is like amazing. Like you can pay $5 a month and you get access to all these games, and like
Yup.
they're starting to kind of take back the wave, and they're starting to like I feel like they kind of like lost the first rounds, but then now they're kind of like even. And then this generation right now is like, all right, man, like this is the one that's really gonna like make people switch or make people stay to what they already own. And I feel like if you're Sony, man, you say, hey, PS5, $400, and then you put all the pressure on Microsoft to match. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to be able to go more expensive at that point.
They're gonna want to stay competitive and
Yeah.
relevant and stuff. And your camera is like just going all over the
I
place
know.
today, huh?
It has like the face follow feature, which is kind of creepy.
You got ghosts in your room or something, or? Anyways, no. So talking about the PlayStation 5 and all that, the consumers that are, if you're Sony oriented, you already invested so much time and money on Sony products like your PlayStation 4 and stuff, then you're most likely going to move over to the PS5, in hopes that there is any kind of compatibility or of any kind, which is another thing people are worried about too, by the way.
Oh yeah, backwards compatible, right?
Yeah, Microsoft actually has the edge on this for sure because they've been focused on, the Game Pass and all that kind of stuff, but they've also focused on having backwards compatibility with like original Xbox games on the new console.
Yeah.
And they've been re-releasing some stuff on the Game Pass as well, so people can experience all these old games all over again, which is dope. I mean, they've also been supporting it on like, PC. I think like,
Yep.
the recent one that came out was the Halo collection.
Yeah, you can play it on PC.
Yep. I have it waiting on my shopping list or my cart.
Yeah.
Once I get paid, dude, I'm getting it.
I actually right now don't own any consoles except for the Switch, so I don't own Xbox or PS4, and I know I game mostly on PC now, and I love like Game Pass because I can still kind of stay up to date with what Microsoft is doing on Xbox because I can play these games, I can play Halo and stuff like that. And I'm like leaning more towards Xbox this generation, but Sony has the exclusives, and I think that's what's gonna win them over. Is like you have Spider-Man, you know what I mean? You can't get that on Xbox. What does Xbox have that's exclusive? Halo?
Yeah, and honestly, these recent Halo games haven't been the best, in my opinion. I actually had all of these systems. So I had a PS4, I had an Xbox One, and I have the Switch. I actually ended up trading in my Xbox One in because I ended up not using it for a very, very long time. I actually ended up buying the Halo 5 edition version of the Xbox.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a very sexy Xbox. I can't lie, dude. And when you turn on the button on the thing, it just made all those like those Halo noises and stuff.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it was really cool. But the game was kind of meh. It wasn't really that great. And a lot of people, say, "Why play for the story? Play for the multiplayer."
Yeah.
Multiplayer was also kind of like as well. It wasn't. It didn't really feel like it felt like a generic shooter, with a Halo skin over it, and I didn't really like that.
My biggest fear is, when I've seen these like Sony presentations so far, and they keep emphasizing on value, which makes me feel like this is not going to be cheap, and it's probably going to be $600, maybe 700. I mean, I don't know how much, but it sounds like it's going to be on the pricier side, and I think that's maybe why they've held out on pricing.
Oh, that's definitely the reason why they've been holding out on pricing, dude. They know damn well if they release the prices too early, they're gonna like scare a lot of people off because who knows? I mean, I'm just hoping it's not in the thousands because they talk about all this power that they're putting in these systems, but like you got to think about like all the resources that they have to put in, the money that they spend to make these systems very, powerful. And at the end of the day, these companies want to make a profit out of what they're selling, so. A lot of these companies like Microsoft actually were actually losing or was it Sony? No, I'm thinking of Sony. So Sony at the time during the PS3 era, they were very, very cocky. They started selling the PS3 for like $600,
Yeah.
They were losing money after they made a price cut, pissing everybody off. After a year, they cut it to like $300. They started losing money for every system they were selling.
Yeah.
But they were trying to get that ecosystem out there,
Yeah, I think like if you're a hardware company or if you're like Sony, you're gonna make your money back on the services, so you're gonna have to take like a loss when you sell the hardware for at a loss. But then you're kind of hoping that the community like stays with you and they're loyal, and then you'll make your money back that way. So I feel like regardless of like Microsoft or Sony, I think they're still going to be selling the hardware. Like there's no way they're going to put $1,000 price tag on that thing. People won't buy it. People will not buy it. They'll end up buying a PC or building one
No,
at that
exactly.
point.
And honestly, having a PC is the better value.
Yeah.
What's that thing that they say about everybody or for gaming? All you really need is a Nintendo console and a PC, and you're
Yeah,
set.
pretty much. There are times though, like I wish I could play like Spider-Man, and the PS Now like streaming service is pretty bad. Like I tried the trial and
Yeah.
it was like playing on potato. It was almost as bad as Google Stadia.
Oh God, Google Stadia, dude, that's embarrassing. I can't believe they actually like try to release that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, the misconception with Google Stadia was the fact that we assumed that it was kind of like a Netflix subscription where you paid for it monthly and then you had access to all these games. But no, you have to buy these games. And do you really trust like buying it's like buying games for like a Sega Dreamcast. You just don't know if it's going to be around for a while. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and it's like, you want to have a secure gaming future, you just
Hmm.
get yourself a console instead, and you just have your collection. You start building a physical collection if you really wanted to, or
Yeah.
just start downloading everything online. Just have it all set because once you download it, it's yours forever.
Yeah, so my prediction is I think the PS5 will be around $500. They are making one without a disc, so maybe they'll that one will be a little bit cheaper. I feel like to sell me on a digital console, it would have to be a significant amount of savings. $50 is not enough. It would have to be like $100 savings.
I personally think it has to be like 150 for me. And I mean,
Wow.
it's just, yeah, and it's only saying this because, when you lose the physical part, like the disc stuff, you lose a lot of, different value in the system
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
for two reasons alone, for the fact that you can't sell like your games or trade them, you know what I mean? And then number two, you can't play Blu-rays, which I mean, I don't know who buys Blu-rays nowadays, but it's still something that you have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and not only that, but like I guess the argument can be made that if everything is locked into an account, if anything happens to your system, you don't have to really worry about it because they could just recover your account with
Mm,
everything that you have downloaded.
yeah.
If everything is on, if we're talking about like a cloud-based, infrastructure for these new kind of systems.
Yeah.
But I think that's what like Google Stadia was trying to do too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like Google they really hyped it up to be so great. Like, oh, we have all these servers and all these power, and then she's like, okay, then why is my shit lagging really bad? Like, this is terrible.
Come on, Google, get your shit together. You're like a multicultural billionaire company.
I found out I just googled like PS5 pricing, and somebody on eBay is selling a PS5 pre-sale, trusted seller guaranteed.
For how
So,
much?
$799.
Oh my God. You know what, dude? Honestly, I can't lie. I'm thinking like the base price for the PS5 for like if you want the disc and everything, I think it's gonna be like maybe $700, $600. I'm thinking it's gonna be very expensive.
Oh, okay. So you're guessing it's gonna be over $500.
Yes, I think it's gonna be over five hundred
Uh,
dollars. And then the one without the disc is probably gonna be base 400 or
mm,
500, maybe 450. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a gut feeling.
all right. My prediction, because I think Sony's most expensive console at launch was the PS3, right? It was $600.
600, yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be $599 for the one with the disc, $499 for the discless version. I think those are pretty solid predictions. And then I think Xbox, I think they're gonna sell their shit for $499. I think they're gonna be really
Yeah.
aggressive.
I think they are because I think at this point they just want to make sure that everybody has an Xbox.
Yep.
They just want to make sure they don't care if they lose any money on this. They just want to make sure that their brand name is still solid for everybody.
Yeah, because I mean, basically,
Respect.
what that's gonna do is it's gonna take all the people that are already gaming on Xbox, and it's just gonna make them loyal to the console and to the platform. And they know they have the peace of mind that they know that their gaming collection is not gonna be starting from scratch again. They're gonna be backwards compatible. So like I think that's the reason why I think Microsoft will probably be the cheaper console. But if I'm Sony, man, dude, and you really want to kill them, sell that shit for $3.99 and $4.99, and you'll get everybody to switch from Xbox to PlayStation.
Immediately, man.
Yeah,
Like, what? What's Xbox?
yeah. Like take a loss on the upfront cost of the consoles and all the parts, but you literally gain such a huge amount of like following, and it would make Microsoft like shit themselves.
Oh hell yeah, man. And I mean, the one thing I hope that the PS5 has is at least backwards compatibility with the VR headset because I've been playing
Mm,
a lot of the PlayStation VR and dude, it's so much fucking fun.
really? Um,
Oh, I have a phone call real quick if you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
mind me
Go for
answering
it.
that real. All right, thank you.
Let me see here. His wing stop came through.
Sorry about that. That was actually the Wingstop
Wingstop.
that
I
I
was about to
ordered.
say,
Yeah.
is it here?
Wingstop order. Yeah, they just came in. No worries. I told my mom if they came in that they just pick it up and just put it on.
Oh, okay. I mean, we can wrap this up pretty soon, man. I know.
It's
I
all
know.
good, dude.
Wingstop ain't that good after it's cold, bro.
No, I agree with you there, but I don't really care. I think I'm just craving the flavors right now. But anyways, no. So what we were talking about the
The-
PlayStation 5, right?
yeah, VR. You were talking about VR.
Yeah, so dude, I've been playing a lot of the VR. The recent game that I just bought was the Iron Man VR, and dude, that
Oh,
game is
wow.
so much fun.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know there was a Iron Man VR game. What?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty freaking fun, man. It
Wow.
feels, yeah, I have the charging on the controllers and everything, the wireless ones. I just kind of
Okay.
just play down, and then it's funny because, and that's my DoorDash person texting me like, "That's we're done, dude. Our transaction is over. You like my food? Thank you, bro." He gave it awesome. He left it outside. He took a picture. That's really cool.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, he's a little extra about what. Anyways, no, I really hope that it's backwards compatible with the next one, the next
Mm,
gen, because I've been playing a lot of the VR stuff, and dude, it's so much fun. I do definitely think there's going to be a future in VR. I hope it just becomes cheaper for everyone to, give
yeah.
it a shot, try it out, and all that kind of stuff. Because, man, next time, if we have like another like stream thing we going on, we have to do something like VR thing.
Um. Yeah. What's that one that Facebook bought? Is it Oculus?
Oculus, yeah, Oculus. One
So
of my buddies has it actually.
it's like an all-in-one system, right? You don't require a PC or a console, right? It's just all in one.
Yeah, you just put it on. It's like its own headset thing with its own
Mm.
controllers and everything, and you're just chilling.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think like we talked about VR 4 years ago and how like I thought that was the future, but I also noticed like there was just a lot of uncomfortableness, having that thing on your head. You get tired after a while, it gets hot and sweaty, and you also have to have like the space to do it. If you're in a very crammed place, you might hit something and
Yeah,
break it. So it's like there's always been a lot of like requirements to have like the VR, but I'm sure like it's gotten better since I mean, I remember getting invited to test out the HTC Vive for the first time.
oh
Um,
wow, how was that?
and that was like I forgot what year it was, but at the time, dude, I was like, "This is crazy, bro! This is the future." So I can't imagine how much better it's gotten now in 2020. And I've also seen footage of Half Life. It's called Half Life Elixir. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I don't think I have. It's a VR game, right?
Yeah, it's like a crazy game. Like I've seen video footage of it and it looks so real, man. It's just like I don't even know how they're like pulling this off. But
Yeah, man. I mean, even, although like there's a lot of negative things or
I'm here.
some
I'm
downsides to
gonna head.
playing VR,
mhm.
I still think there's a lot of potential, especially with how it's
Fighting's not
grown
that
over the
easy.
years.
Mm.
The Oculus headset is actually very reliable, and uh, my buddy actually has one. He told me that he ended up, modding it or hacking it, so he was able to play some games that you're not supposed to be playing. And he
Oh,
told me about this Pokemon game that where he just has the thing where he throws Pokeballs and he's walking around the thing and he's just catching Pokemon.
wow.
Yeah, and I thought that was so dope. So I'm like, I wish I could do that with the PlayStation VR because it's
Mm,
like, I can't really do much with that. It's only with what it's available on,
mm.
and I kind of want to get myself that Oculus to kind of try some kind of weird games like that.
Man, imagine a VR like Pokemon game. That would be gnarly. Like you get to actually be like, I don't know, in Palatown with your Pokemon and shit, dude. That'd be so dope.
Oh man, that's like something I've been dreaming of since VR has been available to like the masses, man.
Yeah, because I mean we've had like the Pokemon Go and like the AR, but it's not the same. You're holding your phone,
It's not.
but to actually be like in that world would be super crazy.
Yeah,
Uh,
for real, man. It's like just I don't know, just a little extra taste of just having Pokemon in real life, kind of thing.
yeah,
Having that first person experience, you
yeah.
know. See, that's what we need Nintendo to do. We need Game Freak to actually make a 3D. That's where the Pokemon series is going next. It's VR.
I
It
hope
has to be
so.
VR.
It'll
Shit, it has to be.
knowing Nintendo though, they're gonna be a little bit slow with the hardware side of things. I think. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. Or maybe they've been working on it this whole time and they're just trolling us.
There's actually rumors about a Switch 2 coming out.
I was about to say, how old is the Switch? It's getting kind of. I mean, not old, but it's what 2017.
Yeah, I think we're like halfway. We're like 4 years. Oh, let me check.
Because I remember I didn't get it until Smash Brothers came out, and that was in 2018. So I waited a year to get the console. But yeah, it looks like March 3rd, 2017.
Yeah, March 3rd. So yeah, it's about 3 years, hitting four pretty soon.
Yeah, so they did do like a revamp. Like I think they made the battery life a little bit better, but they haven't really made like a legit successor to the Switch yet. I know
Uh,
they did the Switch Lite, but that doesn't really count.
that's kind
Um,
of a nerfed version, or like,
yeah.
yeah, basically a nerf version of the Switch.
I don't know if you heard this, and we'll probably wrap this up after this because I know you want your wing stop. But
Well, I appreciate you, man.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remake. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, honestly, it's a lot of just like schoolyard rumors. There's
Mm,
not a lot of like concrete evidence to prove that any of this is legit. I think people want it so badly that they're willing to believe any kind of like thread, and so
mm.
I don't know. I'm not really. I hope they're making it. I really do. I want a Diamond and Pearl remake because it's been a minute since we played the original ones, and the original ones, in my opinion, only suck and suffer because they're very, very slow. So an updated version of the game would
Oh,
be freaking amazing. But as far as anything concrete, I don't really believe it's
mm.
gonna be coming out anytime soon.
Yeah. I still haven't played that generation yet, so I don't know what that feels like. I know Platinum was the one that came out after, right? It was kind of
Yeah.
like the better
So
version of the two.
yeah, it basically sped things up. It was so
Mm.
much quicker than the original ones. I guess I find that Game Freak has issues the first time they make like their games on a console, and then only when they start getting familiar with it does the final version or the third version of the game that comes out is like the better version.
Mm. Okay. So real quick before you go, well, if you were to like rank all the Pokemon games, like what would be like your top five?
Ooh, top five. Damn. Well, I That's a lot. That's a lot. I got to think about all the generations. No, so I think one of my favorite generations does have to be like Diamond and Pearl.
Okay.
Um, only because I've come to kind of appreciate it a little bit more than back in the past and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Second one would be um, Black and White.
Black and
Black and White.
white. Okay.
Yeah, Black and White, or specifically Black and White 2. I like that game a lot because it just fixes so many problems. But there was an actual story, and they try to actually, change things up for the, longer portion of how long this, franchise has been going on. Uh, Shit, what did I say? So Diamond and Pearl, Black and White. Um, I would say Johto. Johto's another one of my favorites, just because I remember playing that one a lot, like when I was younger. Um, Fourth one, I would say the original, Red and Blue.
Oh
I
wow.
Yeah, I have to say, and the only reason, I mean, I put that it's very low on the list, and it's not no disrespect for anybody who really loves the first one. It's just being a Pokemon fan for such a long time, I've kind of like grown to appreciate other Pokemon games for what they are.
Mm,
And this one didn't really have a lot to offer. It just introduced us to the franchise. And for that, I'm very grateful for it. But
mm.
it doesn't do much for me. Like, it's hard to play those games now compared to what we have. So that's why it's on the fourth list. And then the last one, I gotta say, I mean, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Why you picked this one like last?" But I say, yeah, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Okay.
There's something about, yeah, I really like those ones too. I mean, there's a lot of memories, good memories that I have. It's only low on the list because these other ones are just, I prefer those ones a little bit more. Not to say that Emerald is like really low on my like list, or
Uh-huh.
my tier list. I guess you could say they're very close. They're like all kind of neck to neck almost.
Okay. Yeah. I again, I haven't played. I'm barely playing Gold for the first time, but I think like the remakes of like Gold are probably gonna be like my favorite to play again. Once I get there. But like Heart Gold
They're
and
really
Soul
fun.
Silver, I mean, a lot of people say that like, that was like their favorite one. They also mentioned Platinum, and they also mentioned Pokemon Emeralds. They said that was like a really good one. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think for me, I was just so hard headed. I didn't want to get past the first generation, but it's very hard to play. You know what I mean? Like it's very hard to play Blue and Red in 2020.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just like there's so much better like, improvements on
yeah,
everything that from since the beginning. So,
yeah, and like I think like nostalgia factors into like people's judgment. Like oh, it's the first one, so I have it has to be the best one ever. But I think like the remakes were cool, like Leaf Green and Fire Red. I think those were really cool. And then just recently, Let's Go Pikachu, which is kind of different, but oh, dude, it was like being like 10 years
yeah.
old again, dude. I was like, this is awesome, you know?
Yeah, it was really easy, but it was dope, dude.
Yeah,
I love playing with it. And then I mean, the throwing the Pokeball kind of got a little old, but
yeah.
that's why, I preferred it on a handheld mode. You just kind of
Mm.
aim and shoot.
Nah, man, you got to get the Pokeballs.
Right, dude, I can't.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you hopping on, the ambassador of the 3DS, live with us today.
Ooh. Well, thanks
Um,
for having me on, man. I really appreciate the
yeah,
the conversations, man.
and as
Talking
Nintendo,
Pokemon,
yeah,
man.
Nintendo and Pokemon, that shit's changing week to week, so we'll probably have to do this again.
I'm down for a news roundup if you like. Shit,
All
I'm
right,
down
man.
to talk about. I'm always open to talk about Nintendo, man. So
Cool.
always hit me up for that.
All right, man. Take care, bro.
Later, man.